Moikka moi! It's Riikka Kovasin here with another video. This time I'm making an art journaling spread, mainly using paper artsy products. Here you can see the two main elements, let's say. On the right there's going to be the background pieces, and on the left is the focal point going on. So I'm first adding just some acrylic paints to the background. I'm using 3 colors and mixing them on top of the surface to get a wide variety of colors appearing. I'm using these warm tones this time. Then I'm using the same colors to add some colors to the stamped image. Don't get alarmed because I'm really haphazardly coloring the image. I still have the same stamp in my stamping tool, so I can add a stamped layer on top. This is kind of my favorite way of coloring because then I don't have to mind the lines. I can go boldly over and then just stamp another image on top to make it more visible and clear. I'm also using stamps to add some texture, like visual texture, to the background. I'm choosing these kind of quilt-like pieces and adding them to the background. I'm using archival ink, so I will need to heat set it after stamping because acrylic paints create a non-absorbing surface. I want to highlight the quilt effect of the background, so I took a black paint marker and traced the lines of the stamp images, as well as created this kind of a grid pattern to the background. And now I'm using the pen to make the little stitch marks, kind of imitating the look of the stamps. After I'm happy with the drawing, I then take the scissors and cut the focal lady out of the background. Remember when you're doing fussy cutting that the scissors will kind of stay put and the image is going around, because that way it's a lot easier for your hands. Next I'm then adding some shading to the background. I wanted to highlight of the dimension, like the little domed surface of a quilt, because the stitches hold the fabrics together and the rest of it is a little bit domed. So I took these colored pencils that work marvelously on top of acrylics, and I will add a little bit of shading and coloring here and there using them. I also use the same pencils to add a little bit of color to the focal point as well. Next I then bring in some other paint markers, this time adding texture to the quilts, let's say, or a pattern to them. I'm mimicking the color scheme I already have, so there's not drastic color changes, and I'm also bringing in some white. I'm using the different nib sizes to add some patterns to the background, adding some dots or lines. When I then have the patterning done, I will cut the 2 pieces loose from each other, because now I've been working on a whole spread and I use spiral bound journal, so I need to cut the pieces and mount them on top of my journal. For that I'm using double-sided tape. Here's the two background pieces adhered to the journal, and I also added a little piece of pattern paper to the lady because I did want to make her a little bit longer to get her a better placement to the background. I was actually going to trim the paper much closer to the stamp image, but when I just rip this part and added the lady on top, it looked marvelous as it is, so I just left it. It looks like now she has this fur kind of color or something. I really like the look. I'm then adding her to the page and finishing the spread with some text stickers. And there you have it, a quick art journaling spread using mainly acrylic paints and some stamps, as well as paint markers. I hope you liked the video or it gave you some kind of inspirational spark to start creating. Thank you so much for watching today. I'll be seeing you within a week. Thank you. Bye.